ComicCon, Niantic Labs held a panel for Pokemon Go. John Hankey, the head of Niantic, and some of his co-workers were up on stage. It was kind of like a press conference type deal, and it was meant for them to talk about the game, kind of talk about the future direction that they're taking and some of the new updates we might be able to expect, as well as answer questions from fans who were in attendance at the Comic-Con event. And overall, it was a pretty uneventful panel. It didn't really answer all that much. Some people were kind of disappointed because, I mean, this is a game that, 2 weeks ago it was nothing, and now it's this, kind of like overnight global sensation, I guess you could say. And so a lot of people wanted answers for specific issues like the 3-step bug and stuff like that. And they didn't really tackle any of that stuff head on, but they did tell us about a few new things we can expect in the future for Pokemon Go. And I wanted to talk about these with you guys because some of them are pretty, exciting. So starting off here, more Pokemon. Yes, there are more Pokemon coming to Pokemon Go. He said there are a certain set of Pokemon in the game right now. There are some rare ones that haven't shown up yet that will be showing up, aka Ditto, Mewtwo, Mew, the 3 legendary birds, that sort of thing. And there are some other ones in the universe. It's something we're excited about continuing with in the coming years. So obviously right now we're working with Gen 1 of Pokemon, but they plan on bringing out Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4, everything else down the line eventually, and it's going to be something that's going to happen over the course of years. So obviously they have a pretty long life cycle in mind for this game, which is exciting. Next up, they talked about trading, and he said that trading is not currently in Pokemon Go today, but it's something that we're working on bringing to the product. But don't get too excited. We need to make sure we can keep the servers up first. So obviously, this is very good news. There are 2 features I hear people wanting in this game. One is trading. Second one is battling. They haven't mentioned anything about trainers being able to battle each other yet. I'm sure that feature is coming. I'm sure they know about it. I'm sure it's something they want to do. But they did officially announce here that trading is going to be coming to the game. It's kind of at the forefront of their minds. They're definitely working on it. It's just right now they're a little bit tied up with the initial hype of this game and keeping it live and making sure it works for us. So that's totally understandable. I'm glad they're working on it, and we should expect that sometime soon. Now, next up, they talked about a new feature that I really haven't given much thought, and I hadn't really heard from anybody else, and that's Pokestop customization. So apparently they want to make it so you can customize your Pokestops to be hospitals and then also have other capabilities. So let's say, for example, your home Pokestop, you could trade that in or kind of change it to be kind of like a health center. So like in the Pokemon games, you could go to those health centers and re-heal all your Pokemon, and they'd be, all good and fresh as new, and it wouldn't really cost you anything. And that'd be nice to have in Pokemon Go. Like, rather than using all of your revives and all of your potions and super potions and that sort of thing that you get from your Pokestops, you could go to the Pokestop that's closest to your house and re-heal your Pokemon there, which I think would be kind of cool, and it'd pay a nice ode to the original game. So we'll have to wait and see what they do with that, but I think it sounds pretty cool. Next up, they talked briefly about Easter eggs. So they did confirm that the Eevee Easter egg does work. So for all those people out there saying it doesn't work, it does. Sparky is for Jolteon, Rainer is for Vaporeon, and Pyro is for Flareon. That does work. He also said that there are a few more Easter eggs in the game that are yet to be discovered. So that's pretty exciting. I'm not really sure what to expect there. Obviously, we're not supposed to. That's why it's an Easter egg. But, I'm sure some people are going to be out there hunting, trying to figure that stuff out now that he said that. Now, next up, they talked very briefly about a huge feature that would be really cool if they added it in. This is actually asked by a fan. A fan asked them if they were thinking about putting breeding in the game, and they said that it's not yet in development, but it's definitely something that they've talked about. So that's really interesting. Breeding was always a relatively big thing in the original Pokemon Game Boy games. It kind of got more intense as the games kind of evolved. I didn't really remember breeding too much in like Red and Blue and stuff like that, but that'd be pretty cool if some of our Pokemon were assigned genders, so you could have males and females, and then you could breed them and create new Pokemon, and they'd probably be stronger and all kinds of stuff like that. So I think that'd be really cool. We'll have to wait and see what they do, but breeding may come to Pokemon Go, which would be pretty cool. Next up, this is where some people were kind of disappointed because they did very faintly kind of skirt over some huge problems that people have with this game, and they didn't really like attack it head on. They didn't say anything about it. They didn't give us any sort of explanation. All they said is, we know it's there. And we're assuming that when they say that we know it's there, it means they're trying to fix it. But they were talking about two things when they said that we know it's there. One is gym poaching, and the other one is the 3-step bug. So obviously the 3-step bug is where when you pull up your nearby Pokemon kind of, little list down in the bottom right, everything always has 3 steps. When the game first came out, as you got closer, the steps would decrease. So it'd go from 3 to 2, and then 2 to 1, and 1 to 0, and then you'd find them. And, that's how you could walk around and find these Pokemon. Now, they're all 3 steps all the time. So you have no clue how close you're getting to them, and it makes it so much harder to find them out in the wild without using something like Pokevision, which I mentioned to you guys in an earlier video. So they said that they're aware of that. I'm assuming they're going to fix it. I've heard that it's not that it's broken. They just turned it off to help with all the stress on the servers and stuff like that. And once everything else balances out, they'll turn it back on. But that's just from people looking in the code of the game. I don't know if that's actually true. The other issue they said they knew that, how it's happening and they were aware of and assuming that they're going to try to fix is gym poaching. So gym poaching is when, like, let's say I walk up to a gym and I see that somebody's currently battling over it. Like, let's say it's blue and a yellow is coming in and battling and taking it down. If I'm sitting there as Team Valor, as Team Red, I can just wait until I see that gym go, kind of neutral, I guess, when it goes gray, and I can slide a red Pokemon in there right away before the instant guy who was battling it and took it down can even get his Pokemon in. So obviously that's kind of BS. If you're the one that fights the gym and takes it down, you should be the one that gets to put your Pokemon in. And basically, they're just saying that they're aware that people will do that, and hopefully they'll fix it. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, finally, last but not least, they did make one new announcement, and it's kind of cool, I guess. But, they didn't really give us much information about it. They announced the team leaders for the 3 teams. So the team leader for Valor is called Candela. The team leader for Mystic is called Blanche. And the team leader for Instinct is called Spark. And they said that they'll be in the game soon, and you'll be hearing from them in a variety of ways. And that's pretty much all they said. So we have no clue what this means. We have no clue what these leaders represent or how it's going to change the game or what kind of features that might come with them or what they're going to do. But we know that they're there, or at least that they're coming soon. So I'm not really sure what to think of that, but I guess it's kind of cool. It kind of adds to the lore of the game. So now we're kind of fighting under this, kind of like head person. It gives you something to fight for, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all that came out of this panel. And I'm sure you guys understand how people were kind of concerned because they didn't give us much. I understand they're under a lot of stress right now. I understand, I couldn't even imagine trying to keep up with all the DDoSing and all the hacking and all the everything else that's going on when your game becomes the most popular game in the universe overnight. But I just, it'd be nice if they were a little bit more communicative with us. Like their Twitter doesn't tweet anything. They tweet Soldier Boy, what Pokemon has he caught so far? But they don't say, hey guys, sorry our servers are down. We're going to come back up in 3 hours or something like that. Like they don't communicate with their community, which I think is a really, really bad thing. And this panel was kind of further proof of that. So hopefully they get their act together. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to catch you guys later. Let me know what you guys think about all this Pokemon Go news. Team leaders, what the heck is going on? I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Potion or whatever. No. We have this. We need one more hit. No. Voltorb. Voltorb, buddy. Yo, we just got absolutely wrecked.